morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 159. We're going to be recapping the Sunday night football and Monday night football as there's other news. Coaches getting fired and there's the fantasy. How did we do in our fantasy? And then we have to talk about the power rankings in the NFL. And then we'll move on to the college football where we talk about the top 10. And is Brian Kelly still causing problems for LSU? Well, this is what happens when a politician gets involved. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Sox.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm getting Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
All right. Thank you so much for watching Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 159. It's just me and Timmy Boy today as Lisa is out sick. So let's get started right off the bat. Sunday night football. Well, this is how I could tell you how Sunday night football went. Sleep in there. This game at one point was 3-2. And it wasn't because there was great defenses. It was just because the offenses were struggling in that first half. Steelers are so inconsistent. I'm done. I'm not on that bandwagon anymore. That defense, when it's on, it's good. When it's not, it's not. And if I hear Chris Collinsworth one more time say that Jalen Ramsey at safety, and so, I'm done. I'm going to backhand him. That is crazy. He said it like 5 times within 2 drives. It was enough. The other side of it, Justin Herbert. That guy's crazy to watch. He gets hit like every play and gets right back up. He's got so many injuries on that offensive line, and they still find a way. But I have a kind of a cool stat of this one. Keenan Allen comes away with 2 catches to reach 956 with the Chargers, surpassing Hall of Fame Antonio Gates for most receptions in franchise history. Now, Antonio Gates just went to the Hall of Fame, I believe, this past year. Do you think Keenan Allen is a Hall of Famer?
No.
Wow. But even though, what makes Antonio Gates?
He passed up his deal? No. I think because at least Gates made it to the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah. Gates did. Keenan Allen hasn't. I think he's had a lukewarm career, and I think with the passing the way it is nowadays, I mean, yeah, anybody could hit that stat if they play long enough. Yeah, the way the passing league is. It wasn't a passing league. He played with, I think, LaDainian Tomlinson at one point,
and Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers. Yeah. So I mean, no, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. No.
Yeah, I think he's a Ring of Honor for the Chargers, right? Like, for Hall of Fame, it is tough because he didn't win. But at the same time, the difference between Antonio Gates and Keenan Allen is a wide receiver. Antonio Gates is a tight end. And that was Shannon Sharp changed the game at tight end, and all them being pass catchers. But Antonio Gates was a part of that Tony Gonzalez phase, and where we were like, oh my gosh, these guys are not just big and block. They can catch the ball and make it plays too. I agree. I don't think Keenan Allen is, but at the same time, it's crazy what his stats are when he's a Charger and when he was at Bears. But what did you think about this game?
Yeah, another deal too. I think Rodgers looked skittish. Yeah. I think that defense really got to him. I mean, he just didn't look good in the pocket. He was all over the place, overthrowing DK Metcalf. He was just not. I mean, that defense got after him. I think it was one of his worst games he's had all year, if not probably one of the last 5 years. He just did not look good. For the Chargers, that defense looked really good getting after Rodgers. The running game, that is what their key is.
Yep.
Vidali, 95 yards and a touchdown. I guess Omar Hampton is supposed to be coming back with, I think, after their bye. Second half, they looked good. They got the passing game going, the quick hits, and then they finally got McConkey down the middle. But, yeah, this was not it was just enough to win. But, yeah, I agree with you. This Pittsburgh Steelers team is a Jekyll and Hyde team.
Yep.
One week they look really good. The next week they look like hot garbage. And guess who's coming up, boys? The Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Guess who might be coming back in 3 weeks?
Joe Burrow.
And Cincinnati. If Flacco can hang on to them, Pittsburgh's not going to win this division. They were out there big. Everybody's coming back to reality now. Everybody's coming back to the pack. They're not a cinch to win this division by no means.
No, I definitely agree, and I think it was so funny seeing Khalil Mack sack Aaron Rodgers in the end zone for that safety, because he did too. He just laid right on top of him, and it kind of gave me that reminiscence of the Bears when the Bears got Khalil Mack, and he had that big game against Green Bay, and it was like right there. I think that changed the momentum of Aaron Rodgers. But there was so many times in this game too where Aaron Rodgers was like throwing like a hissy fit. If he makes that completion in the first quarter to DK Metcalf where he's going one way, this game changes all over. But what surprised me about the Steelers is Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith was supposed to be a huge addition to their team, and it's that Darnell Washington getting more of the pass catches. Pat Freiermuth is in there. Like, Jonnu Smith was huge for the Miami Dolphins. So I could kind of go to they're not utilizing him correctly. I've told Steelers fans that. But, yeah, this was kind of a snooze fest for a Sunday night game.
I agree.
Well, let's go on to Monday night. What did you think about this Monday night game as we're recording on Tuesday? That was last night.
For the Eagles, that defense looked really good last night. Made Jordan Love look really old. Not old, but he just did not look good. Banjo was making up the plays for all night. I mean, the defense overall, the Packers were 5 for 13 on third downs, 2 turnovers. And if Devontae Smith came up with that great catch down the middle, for the touchdown for the Packers, I think Jordan Love's in trouble without Tucker Kraft.
Yep.
I think that's his go-to person. I think he's going to be missing him. They've got a couple offensive linemen that are down now. Romeo Doubs came up lame last night as well. That's going to hurt him. You've got Matthew Golden that's got a bad shoulder. You've got some star people that are not playing, and I just don't think Love has got the time. I don't know if that offensive line they're just not giving him enough time to get the ball. He's just erratic.
Yep.
And I don't, and that's another thing. Their defense had, for the Packers, 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits.
Yep.
He was pretty much untouched last night. Hurts. If he doesn't have that fumble on that first drive going down the field, I think they may have blown him out.
Yep.
I mean, it was a 10-7 score, but, for them, I think for the Packers, for them to have any chance down the road, because now you went from first to third in your division. They've got to shore up. They got to figure out what's going on with Jordan Love, because I think their defense will get them wins this year. I think Micah Parsons and them, I think their defense is fine. They've got to figure out what they want to do with Jordan Love. They've got to get a better run, pass blocking on the run and on the pass. Josh Jacobs, pretty much null and void last time. He even had a fumble last night.
Yep.
So, I mean, they have got to get that figured out, because they've got teams ahead of them, and if they don't get it figured out, they might not be there in January.
Yeah, no, I don't think they will be. I think the Bears are coming on right now, and Lions are the Lions. My Vikings, yeah. So, in this Monday night game, though, excuse me, this felt like a playoff game. It truly did. It was like, what team's going to make the first mistake? Well, it was all the Packers. And yes, did the Eagles make the mistake? But they're used to this. They've been to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. They're used to knowing that, hey, this is a 4-quarter game, not just one drive, where it felt like the Packers were not playing for 4 quarters. The two teams showed physicality last night. That's, just some of these tackles. Saquon got hit pretty hard. And there was one play, too, where Josh Jacobs got lifted up and slammed on the ground. Like, there was a lot of physicality in this game. But I think this game came down to a couple plays, in all reality. Saquon's 41-yard catch, where he caught it behind the backfield, and then led to Devontae Smith's touchdown. That was huge, because that play looked like it was a broken play, and then Saquon just runs down the sideline, gets him down to, looks like a field goal, right? And then the next play, they go for that end zone. On the Packers, looks like they're going to come back, right? Josh Jacobs fumbles the ball. That ball was all the way over here. Like, I mean, he could have fumbled it 4 times on that one drive right there. And then Jordan Love's fumble, right at the end. When you thought you were going to come back and just kick a field goal, send it in overtime, I think the biggest concern, for, like you said, is obviously that it's offense. They have all these options, and they talk about all these weapons, but they just don't have that one weapon, right? That one standout that you can always kind of consistently go to. It was Romeo Doubs, but then he gets hurt. It was Tucker Kraft, and then he gets hurt. Right now, it's Josh Jacobs is their best player. They were throwing it to him out of the backfield so much. which as a fantasy owner, I love it. I mean, I'm
Right.
just down 90 points going into Monday night, but still. No, I thought it was a good game. I think the Eagles are a very scary team. I think they just, if they can keep it consistent, it was good to see A.J. Brown back out there last night again. He didn't really bring in a factor of the game, but it was good to see him because if they get fully healthy, that defense, they are scary. I mean, I think they are, and we'll talk about power rankings, but they're definitely the best NFC team right now.
Well, I'll say one last thing too, Anthony. Eagles almost gave this game away.
Yeah.
What is Sirianni doing on 4th down?
Yep.
I mean, what are you doing if you don't? I don't get what his idea was on that. And they kick a 64-yarder. He barely missed. I mean, he would have got roasted today if that would have came back and they would have kicked that field goal to win.
Yep.
You got to play. I don't know. Sometimes these coaches almost like they outthink themselves. They really do. And it can come back to bite you in the ass. It's a great win. I really would like to see, hopefully, for the NFC Championship, Eagles, Lions. God, that would be so awesome. It really would be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Lions team is by then. I mean, I think Tampa would be a good game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Eagles right now are in the driver's seat. Definitely with that division, but as the NFC in general.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the fantasy. We were talking about our fantasy going on Sunday, and then how do we finish up? Well, for me, I was down 90 points going into Monday night. So I needed Josh Jacobs to set a record in fantasy for that. Did not happen. Congrats to the person I played. They scored 181 points this week.
Wow.
They had people on the bench. Now, Jonathan Taylor scoring 50 points alone just kicks you right in the nuts. But yeah, we'll see what the waiver wire brings. I'm not going to say who I'm going to go after and stuff like that because I don't know who to go get at this point. But yeah, fantasy, I'm 4-6, right?
4-6.
Yeah, 4-6. So yeah,
How many of you lost in a row? Is this 5 in a row for you?
This is 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
Yeah,
That's
tough.
That's hard.
Tough.
That
So yeah, it doesn't look like I'll be making the playoffs. If we turn it around, we might. But you know, I have a quarterback problem. I don't know why I'm trying to take Bo Nix at quarterback. That's crazy. So, how did you do on fantasy?
I was up by 19.1. He had Saquon Barkley. Thank you. That he did not score a touchdown. Ended up winning by 10.
Hey, yeah.
Yes. So now I am 6-4. I'm still 4th place. The leader is at 7-3, and there's 3 of us at 6-4. But by total points, I'm the 3rd person.
Yeah.
I'm not ahead. So I'm like, I think I'm 5th. So there's 4 others. Yeah. 3 others above me. So I'd have to jump. I would love to get into a bye week. God, because I've never done that. But my team is, I don't know if my team is good enough to be. I'm hanging. It's just survive in advance like everybody else. Survive in advance each week. Plug and play some players and you can get off the waiver wire and just hope for the best.
Yeah, I did look it up last night. For the 4 games that I've lost, every person has scored over 150 points on me.
Yeah, that's
or
tough.
like
That's just tough.
150 on me or whatever. But yeah, and that's the tough part too, is because I'm number 1 in points, but I'm number 1 in points against.
Yeah.
So you hope the tide changes as we get closer to playoff. This is a good time to get hot. But I think I've said that the past 2 weeks, so we'll see how that goes. But we got other news in the NFL. Big news coming out, I think it was on Monday. Brian Dable is out for the New York Giants. What did you think about this?
I was not shocked. I knew this was coming.
Really?
I think that collapse, which is the second week in a row, and how many 4 games this year? They've had leads in the 4th quarter. I think it was time for a change. It's never a good time for a change during the season. You should just probably ran it out. But I wasn't shocked that there was just too much rumbling that was not good. And I have a candidate for the new Giants coach, Lane Kiffin.
Ooh.
Bring him back to Jackson Dart. The only thing that scares me is that I don't think he would be good for him because of Jackson Dart's got to learn how to slide.
Yeah.
He's got to get himself healthy. This is the 4th game he's had with a concussion or in the blue tent. He cannot keep doing this. So I think Lane Kiffin would be second go around for him. He'd be going from he was a coach for the Raiders. Second time go around. I think they'll probably go after defense. Somebody like a Steve Spagnuolo or somebody, Brian Flores.
Yep.
Brian Flores. And if they did that, I think they should go after a good OC. I don't know who that would be out there, but they've got to find if they go defense, find a good OC for that kid and teach him some things. And I think they'll be fine.
What about the offense coordinator for the Washington Commanders?
I mean, that probably wouldn't be bad, but
as a head coach.
As the head coach.
He ain't going to go from offensive coordinator to offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's especially in that division.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be bad the second time around. I think they also got to clean up their. Was it the coach that's the problem, or was it the GM?
Well,
Joe Shane, I'm not a big fan of that Joe Shane.
So 1 second, yeah. So because that's my whole problem. I'm so surprised at the firing. Why are you doing this? Like Jackson Dart, Cam Scadwood. This was like 3 weeks ago, and you all were on top of the mountain. We were talking about the Giants possibly winning the division.
Yeah.
Like everything was great, and so Jackson Dart also too. There now is rumblings that he didn't actually have a concussion. They just pulled him because he took a hard hit. And if that's the case, that's exactly the coach you want. Because you don't want that franchise quarterback getting hurt or having multiple concussions in a rookie year. You just saw Cam Scadwood go down. I don't understand how the GM's not fired. Because all of their money is in their defense, and it's one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So that's on the players, which the players will get cut and things like that, traded and all that other crap. That happens routinely in the NFL. But if the GM's put all this money, and we've watched this, the show where behind the scenes, whatever.
Oh, Hard Knocks.
Where we saw Hard Knocks of him making awful decisions, letting Saquon get out of the building and go to your or in the same division. That made no sense. I just think when you look at this, Brian Dable getting fired, good. You know what? And I hope he does go to offense coordinator somewhere else, because when he was with Josh Allen in Buffalo, that was the heyday of Buffalo. So don't be surprised if Joe Brady leaves and Brian Dable goes back to Buffalo. But
the rumors out of Buffalo is if who's that coach there? McDermott doesn't do well this year, could see a return to coach.
Yeah,
the Buffalo Bills.
I think there's a better chance that Joe Brady goes to LSU and that offensive coordinator position's open, because I think you got a bad taste in your mouth with Brian Dable right now as a head coach. So are you going to bring him back as a head coach right now? Yeah. I just was surprised about this. I don't get me wrong. The Giants are losing games, and yes, but I also put that on Russell Wilson, and I put that on that defense. There's so many things that are out of that coach's hands that I don't understand. So yeah, that was a little surprising. Other news in the NFL.
One more thing. Be interested to see who's the starting quarterback this weekend.
Yeah,
if Dart can't go.
Yeah. But if Dart can go, you put him in.
Yeah, I think you play him. But if he doesn't, you got to go with Winston. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got to go with Winston. Russell Wilson is done. He's toast.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I agree with that. And other news in the NFL, Dan Campbell taking over play calling for the offense, and Dan Quinn taking over play calling for the defense. Well, I can tell you right now, welcome to the NFL. Because we just talked about Brian Dable getting fired. Some of these coaches are going to say, hey, I will make my own destiny of whether I'm getting fired or not. I'll take over this. I don't know if it was a bigger concern that Dan Campbell took over on the offensive side, because he's always had his hands in the offensive side. But Dan Campbell, yeah, it's the two Dans kind of give this whole thing confusing. Dan Quinn going and taking defensive, that was a little surprising to me. Because anyone and everyone is having a great day against the Commanders' defense right now. So Dan Quinn is notorious for being a defensive-minded person. I am not surprised that he's also taken over. But at the same time, when you do this, you're pretty much signing these offensive coordinator and defense coordinators. You're on the hot block. You're going to get fired. Because if the head coach is now making these calls, then why do I need you? So what do you think about these?
Yeah, I was kind of the Dan Quinn one I didn't know about. I mean, when I seen it when I was watching the Commanders, that I'm like, interesting. So did they get into it on the sideline? Not because he's up in the booth, that Morton for the OC. So did he not agree? Because they weren't playing bad. What were they up 25-12 at halftime? Did he think that they should have been up 50-12 or what? What's going on? I mean, so is he not agreeing with what he's calling or how he's utilizing his running back? Because the running backs, I'm kind of surprised on that. I with Dan Campbell. Because like you said, he doesn't have as short as leash as Quinn does. So what? There had to be something happen between Campbell, or maybe they talked to. I don't know. There had something happen because they were winning. So I don't understand why they were. The Quinn one I get because he might be on the hot seat because he's got a quarterback. That team is playing good, but they couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor if their life depended on it.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just like, okay, this has got to stop because he might be on the hot seat because he's got a good team in Atlanta. Their defense is not very good.
He's a coach. He's a coach for the Raiders, or I'm sorry, for the Commanders. Dan Quinn's a coach for the Commanders.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I don't think anything can help him with that then.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, too, with Dan Campbell. I think it's more of the Jared Goff. I don't think it's the running backs. I just think last year, Jared Goff looked great at quarterback. This year, he's not. Well, yes, you lost your offensive coordinator to the Bears, stuff like that. So when Dan Campbell's taking it back over, it's because they're not having those big explosive plays like they did last year. So I think that's a little bit of it. Jameis Williams, I think it is, he is nowhere to be found anymore.
Yeah,
he needs – he's one of the fastest guys in the NFL. Like, he needs the ball in his hands at some point, so –
yeah.
All right. Well, we got to move on to the power rankings in the NFL. At number 1 is the Eagles, who were number 1 last week. Number 2 is the Colts, who were number 4 last week. Number 3 is the Seahawks, who were 5 last week. Number 4 was the Rams, who were number 9 last week. And number 5 is the Chiefs at number 3. What did you think about, or Chiefs at number 5 that were 3 last week? What do you think about this?
I mean, Colts jumping that far. I mean, that was a great win, but against Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and I think when we just talked off air, a lot of this has to do with what they're predicting down the road.
Yeah.
Not what, because Denver's still not there. I know they're 8-2. They didn't look very good on Thursday night, but they still have a damn good record at 8-2.
Yep.
There's another team I'll let you talk about that should probably be up there as well.
Yep. Well, yeah, I don't understand the Chiefs. They're not even second in their division. They're third. I think they're a wild card if the NFL ended today. They're not even possibly in the playoffs, and they're putting them at 5. Now, don't get me wrong. They didn't play this past week, so them dropping out a couple spots makes sense. I think the Seahawks jumping up is a huge one because they did look good this past weekend. They, honestly, they have a complete team right now. That defense looks good. Sam Darnold looks good. Rams, obviously Matt Stafford can throw to anyone. I think I could join the Rams tomorrow and get some catches and touchdowns. But the Patriots, how do we not put the Patriots in the top 5? Like first off, they're winning their division by what, 2 or 3 games? 2 games, I think.
2 games.
Like they have the lead right now. They have home field advantage. Like they look good. They're looking good on offense, looking good on defense. They just went and beat Tampa at Tampa. And you're not going to put them in the top 5. I don't understand that one. I get the whole Denver. I think Denver's still questionable on whether they're going to be a big team. Green Bay is, I think they were 7. It's like, okay, like we're done with them, right? They're over. Yeah. They're third in their division. But yeah, Patriots need to be in the top 5. And honestly, I would even put them possibly top 3.
And you know what the worst part is? Seahawks may drop right out of the top 5 after next week because they play the Rams.
Yep.
So we're going to find out how good the Seahawks are against that good Rams offense that Stafford is throwing lights out. What is he at? 4 touchdowns in like 4 games this year?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been no talk about him being an MVP candidate.
Yeah. No, I think he is like actually the leading right now for favorite to win the MVP. But and Pat Mahomes is up there still too, and it's like, what has he done? But and you talk about it. We have great games coming up on Saturday and Sunday this upcoming week, so enjoy it. But we got to talk about Thursday night football coming up real quick. Thursday night football is the New York Jets versus New England Patriots, and what I'll say about this is, if you don't want to be 8th anymore, put it on them. Put it on these Jets. You cannot come out like Denver did against the Raiders. Come out and dominate them. Put points up on the board, beat them by 30, 40 points, and show that you guys deserve to be in the top 5. I think they actually will because the Jets have been getting so lucky to get these couple wins. I think the Patriots, if they can, and it's at New England, I think this is a scary game for the Jets. I think New England beats the hell out of the Jets.
Yeah, and Anthony, if you get a chance, I just seen the unis that they're going to put on.
Yeah.
If anybody has a chance, look at them. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like the blue, but it just doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. It just looks weird. It looks weird on them because they are red and like scarlet red, and I mean it's just different. So I just don't know. The blue is that because they have no blue in their colors.
Well, they have the Patriot. The Patriots head has a blue.
I guess so.
But it's like a dark blue, not a light blue like what they're going to be wearing.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I'm jury's still out. I guess I'll wait until Thursday night. But
yeah, I think they're calling them. They're calling them the New Eastern, not New England.
Yeah,
Northeastern. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I seen it today and I went, I go either way. I still love their red with the guy hiking the ball. I mean, I love that old style. That's one of them like Denver that I wish they would never change.
Yep.
I really like that. So
well, and
they got to go blow them out. I mean, they got to take it to them. But that Jets defense is really good, and you know how Thursday nights are.
Yep.
It always seems like the underdog plays a little bit better.
Yeah, and I'll say this too real quick. It's probably a hot take. I miss the color rush. I loved when those jerseys were crazy, like just wild. I want the pure yellow for the Rams back when they were just like yellow on yellow. I think Gurley was running at that time, the running back. But no, I wish they'd go back to something like that. But it is cool when they bring out these new jerseys for a standalone game, whether it's Sunday night, Monday night, or Thursday night. So, but yeah, this one might be a little bit of a snooze fest because I think New England's going to put it on them. All right, well, we have to move to college football. So right off the bat, and you know what? I don't have Lisa today, so this is why I'm not ready for the top 10. Now, remember, on Tuesdays, which we're recording on Tuesdays, the college football playoffs will come out with their predictions of who will be in the playoffs. This is just the top 10. Doesn't mean that some of these teams in the top 10 will be in there. They should be, but doesn't mean they'll be in there. While I pull it up. I think a lot of it stayed the same, but the biggest one was and top 25. All right, at number 1. Oh, so the top 5 stay the same. Number 1 is Ohio State. Number 2 is Indiana, which was kind of surprising because with how close they got to almost losing that game. Texas A&M blowing out Mizzou. I thought they would kind of move up there, but you got 1 Ohio State, number 2 Indiana, number 3 Texas A&M, number 4 Alabama, and number 5 Georgia. Now this is where it changes a little bit. Number 6 at Ole Miss. Number 7, Oregon. Number 8, Texas Tech. Number 9, Notre Dame. And number 10, Texas, right on the heels of this. What do you think about this top 10?
Yeah, I mean, top 5 didn't stay, pretty much didn't change. Texas at 10?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been kind of, they haven't blown any. I mean, they haven't pulled away. I mean, they've just stayed at par, and that's kind of surprising. That I think because of their restrictive schedule, who they played, is probably why they've gotten up a little bit farther than what they normally have or normally would. But yeah, I think the Texas at 10. That's. I would be interested to see who 11 and 12 is.
Well, 11 is Oklahoma and 12 is BYU. With their loss, they dropped 4 spots.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's lost too. So.
Well, and here's my thing about Texas. Actually, I think the Golick, the son, he had one of the college football committee people on his thing and asked, why is Texas not over Notre Dame? They have 2 losses. Why have they not? And he said, Notre Dame's lost by 4 points. And they have went and run the table. Where Texas, they lost, and then lost later in the year to a team that they should have beat. Not a ranked team, things like that. So I definitely agree. My bone to pick is with Texas Tech. Coach, after the games, gave credit to BYU, saying that they joined the Big 12. Remember, after spanking them, beat them 29-7, said, congrats to joining the Big 12. This is what happens. He goes, they shouldn't play this independent because we all know that there is that independent team out there doesn't. So, real quick, strength of schedule, bud, just in case you didn't get your stats right. Strength of schedule for Texas Tech is 86th. You want to know what Notre Dame's is? Top 20 strength of schedule. I don't want to hear this shit anymore, okay? I don't want to hear that Notre Dame isn't. They are playing ranked teams. They'll play another ranked team this week. They beat a USC team. They should have beat a Texas Tech or Texas A&M team. They should have beat Miami and that whole scheme, okay? If they win, are you going to put them in the top 3? If they were undefeated right now, do you put them up there? You wouldn't. You wouldn't because you put the independent against them. So this shit has to end. The biggest surprise for me as well was Oregon going down 1 spot by only winning by 2 but then Indiana wins by what, 3, and they
4.
don't move at all. Like
Right.
they don't. How does that not fit in this whole thing? But yeah, this is before the college football playoff committee does their thing. You're going to see teams like, I would imagine Georgia Tech is now going to be in there as the ACC in there for that, or it could even be, one of those teams on the outside like a Duke or something like that they put in there. It's all predictions. Doesn't mean this is a final thing yet, but we still have to talk about the top 10 because there's a lot of top 10 matchups or top 25 matchups this weekend that are going to decide a lot of games or a lot of what the college football playoff is going to look like getting closer to
the
that date.
SEC is going to look totally different after this weekend.
Well, you got a 10-5 going at it. You have Georgia and Texas going at it this week. So that'll be a huge game.
Yep.
All right. Well, we have to move on to other news in college football, and I just love this one. I love it. Brian Kelly is possibly filing a lawsuit. I have not heard whether he has or not yet, but he's talked about filing a lawsuit claiming LSU is trying to fire him for cause so that they can avoid the $54 million payout. Now, real quick, I got to take it real quick. I'm sorry. If you're not going to, hold on. If you're going to pay this person from the start all this money, and then when you fire them, trying to find ways to get out of it, to paying that person, shame on you. Shame on you. I don't care if 14 people need to get fired for the hiring of Brian Kelly, but if Brian Kelly's the only one that's going to get fired out of this situation, he deserves his money. But hello, America, welcome to the politics, because now the governor's got his hands on this, and that is politics today. Well, we do owe you this, but we're going to find a loophole so we don't. Isn't that what you hear when it comes time around election? They say all these things, and then they don't do shit. Welcome to this. Brian Kelly deserves his money. I don't really like the guy. I kind of hate him, actually. Don't like him, but he deserves this money. Because you signed him, and guess what? If he was winning national championships, you would have given him even more money. But because he wasn't, and he lost, you didn't want to pay him? That's bullshit. I hope he files a lawsuit against him. I will say if he does it, though, it's going to hurt his chances of being a coach somewhere else. Because they're going to be fearful of, well, if we got to fire him, he might file a lawsuit against us as well. But yeah, no, this is crazy. What do you think about this?
Yeah, they came back with 2 offers to lowball him on this.
Oh, yeah.
2 offers, and he denied both offers. Get your bag. Like you said, you don't like Brian Kelly. I don't like Brian Kelly. Get your bag, man.
Yep.
Get your bag. Get your money. Do not go less. And I'm glad he's not. Screw you. You fired me to halfway through the season. I want my money. You promised me this money. Yep. I want the money. And if I have to go get a lawyer to get the money, I will. Yep. So I am totally for it. Yes, do it. You're the one that offered the money and signed the contract.
Yep.
You pay him. Pay the man. As on the movie Rounders, pay the man.
Yep.
Pay him. Yeah, I agree. Yes.
I was thinking Jerry Maguire, show me the money, because that's really what it is. And also the other side is I have seen rumors of what they're trying to pull, and I don't know if they're true or not, so I'm not going to say what I think it is. Final thing about this as well is if Brian Kelly doesn't get his money, this will change college football. Mm-hmm. Because we were just talking about who replaces Brian Dable before we started the podcast, and I said it doesn't make sense for college coaches to go to the NFL anymore because there's more money almost in college football than there is in the NFL to be a coach. Well, if we find out that there's loopholes and things like that, you may see some more college coaches say, no. I'm going to go to the NFL and make sure I get guaranteed money, or you'll see coaches change how they sign their contracts. Because players had to do the same thing, whether it was getting guaranteed money or not. Yep. No, this is absolutely crazy. I hate that Brian Kelly, and also too, last thing, if I'm out there in the market and saying, well, hey, come to LSU, and you're pulling this bullshit, you think I want to become a head coach at LSU right now? Hell no. Hell no. This is a turmoil thing. But I love how Brian Kelly's been fired for 3 weeks now, and we're still talking about him at LSU.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing it would save, like for an NFL, I mean, if somebody wanted to go to an NFL team, there's only 32 of them jobs.
Yeah.
So everybody's got, there's only 32 people that they hire for. So people are going to get hired. But yeah, but you would have to rethink about it. Yeah. I mean, it's toxic down there in LSU. Who the hell in the right mind is going to want to go down to that mess? because it's a mess down there, especially now that the governor is involved with it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree, and this will dictate a lot. I think it's bad publicity, so I think they'll pay him out, but it's a lot of money, $54 million. Because didn't they offer like 20?
Yeah,
they
there was. I thought it was 30 and 40. I thought it was.
Oh, I thought it was less than that, but okay, yeah.
It could be, but yeah, it was. They tried to really lowball him, and he goes, "I don't think so.
Yeah.
You pay me.
I'll take my 54.
Yep, go home."
All right, and other news in college football, and this one kind of hits a little closer to. I could never get the hands right with this. With the Notre Dame Pitt's coach, which plays Notre Dame this upcoming week, in a press conference said Notre Dame could put 100 on us. And as long as we win the next 2 after that, I don't care. What do you think about this?
He doesn't care about this is a non-conference game for him, for Doozy. He doesn't care. He wants to win the ACC championship because if he can win that one, then he's guaranteed a spot in the college football playoffs. If he wins this one and only wins one of the 2, then he's not. Their season's done. They're playing in a bowl. He wants to win the next 2. And I mean, like he's not going to sandbag the game or lay up. I mean, he wants to still win, but I can see. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, the 2 main games are this next 2 and after Notre Dame because he wants to make the playoffs.
Yep. Oh, and I'll say this: you could say that here, but saying it here changes the whole perspective. And the reason why is because you are a head coach to young adults that are going into war because. I'm not going to tell you right now. It ain't going to be an easy game against Notre Dame because Notre Dame's coming and they got to win every game. They're on survive mode. So they are going to come at this game. So him saying 100, which I thought was hilarious because if Notre Dame did put 100 up, they go to number 1. Second off, if I played college football, if my coach ever came in and goes, "Hey guys, who really cares about this game?" It's the next ones that care. I would lose so much respect for that coach because is he going to go out there and hike the ball? Is he going to go out there and make the tackles? No, he's not, right? He's not going to put his body on the line. I am. And then you're going to make this comment out there? I think this was a bad take. Awful take. If you want to think it, it's one thing. Don't say it. Don't say this because now I hope Notre Dame does put 100 up on him. And I hope they beat the brakes off of Pitt. And then I hope Pitt loses the next 2 after that. Because that's exactly
one of the 2.
I don't care. No, I hope they never win a game ever again. I hope they you know what? And if a coach does this also now makes it harder for him to go get another job somewhere else because he made this one comment. When you say comments, whether it's on us doing it on a podcast or at a press conference, the internet never dies. And this will be around forever. I think this was an awful take by Pat on this situation. But, I think Notre Dame will put 100 up on him because I don't know how good Pitt is. I think Notre Dame needs to come to play. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, that's a weak mindset. That is not a person that should be leading a team for sure. All right, last thing, and I forgot almost to bring it up. How did you finish up on Monday night?
Yes, the Eagles, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. 3-1 for the week. It's either 2. It's been a while since I've had an 0 for 4. Guys might want to start listening a little bit. But, 3-1 this week. So hopefully we'll find that 4-0 somewhere. It's just like a needle in a haystack. We'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, and honestly, you did win because the Eagles won, which I never understood why they were not favored in this game. But also at the same time, even if they were going to give 2.5, you would have won by a skin of your teeth because it wasn't only a 3-point game.
Yeah, no doubt.
But 3-1, very successful weekend. That's a good momentum coming into a very good week of college football and NFL. Which we'll be back on Friday to talk about our must-watch games. If you like what we do on Cover 2 Cook, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of them as well, as we post all of our clips on there. Have a great rest of your week. We will talk to you on Friday with the must-watch games and Tim's best bets, because now it might be worthy to listen to. That's you got a little heat now. Now you got to start doing well. So have a great week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.